Good morning, millennials. Welcome back to the Morning Toast. Happy Wednesday. You know what that means, everyone. Hump day.
Wow.
Yes. Hump someone you love.
This week is crawling along.
It's getting there.
It's getting there. It's just one of those weeks. It's not the best.
You know,
it's not the best.
The whole balance of the week is one I find fascinating, you know, because some weeks, you know, they're the same every week, but the way you feel makes a difference, you know? Mm-hmm. Fascinating.
It's fascinating stuff. It really is. I can't believe that it's Wednesday. 2 more sleeps till the weekend.
Margaret Joseph's new podcast today. Lauren Elizabeth, new podcast will be out later today.
The Snatcher, new podcast today, and your girl is on it. And you know I just came in like bulldozing
Swinging.
them Snatchers, like ready to have them on the defense.
Good.
But you know what? At the end of the day, we pretty much all agreed because there's
very little to it.
There's no hot takes from last night.
No, we'll be recapping it actually at the top of the show. It's our first story because it's all that anyone's talking about. So much went down on last night's season finale of The Bachelor. But at the same time, like nothing really went down. And when I look at the season as a whole, I'll never be able to get back like the 16 hours I spent watching 2-hour episodes. It's more than that, probably like 24 hours. Really frustrating. Yet here we are going to talk about it for another hour.
Yet here we are. I was here till 11:30 last night snatchering. Can you believe that?
Hate to see it.
Hate to see it.
Well, you know what I was doing that I would have been here, rather been here snatchering? I was setting up my new bed.
Right, I did see that.
I ordered, you know, with a bigger weight limit, metal slats for the inside of me and Ben's bed because, as I said yesterday, Ben snapped our wooden bed slats in half because he's always jumping around the bed like an animal. So Ben was like, I have to do some like work presentation. Like, can you just wait to set this up? I'm like, no, I need to watch The Bachelor. So what did I do? I set it up myself because I'm a modern woman. And Ben comes in literally at the last minute and I'm having trouble with one screw. He's like, would you just let me do it? I'm like, excuse me? Would I just let you do it? I'm like, I literally put this thing together my entire self. Now you think like you can come in and help with the last thing? Like, what? You don't even know. You don't know anything about these slats. Like, I built them.
And then he finished it.
Oh, and he's like, you couldn't have done it without me. And it's like, what would make him think that he could come in?
He doesn't know anything about these slats.
I literally know everything about the slats. I know everything about their stickers and their wheels and their tape and the box and the instructions. And he comes in at the very last minute thinking that he could do everything. My God, it was so infuriating.
That's sickening.
It was like male privilege at its finest.
And on International Women's Month, nonetheless.
How dare he?
A mere 3 days after International Women's Day.
Was cut short.
And he's going to cut it even shorter.
How
dare he?
It was so upsetting to realize that I was, you know, married to a cisgender asshole.
I can't. Oh my gosh, you guys, we have so much to discuss today. I think we should just get right into it. I feel as though a lot of people are watching live because a lot of people are working from home due to coronavirus. And don't worry, we will have your daily update on how coronavirus is affecting your everyday life. Don't worry, we will have that update.
People are also really looking for like a debrief into The Bachelor because there's a lot of things flying and there's so many memes going around, so many like fake news going around. I don't know what to believe.
There's a lot of memes flying and I think we need to stop and catch them all.
Yeah, like Pokemon.
Gotta catch them all.
Gotta catch them all.
I want to go through some of like the fan theories. I really just heard one.
Do you guys want to hear an interesting factoid really quickly?
Sure.
About Pokemon that you might not know about your 2 favorite morning show hosts? That, you know, some kids, when they're kids, they like to set up lemonade stands. Your girls set up a stand outside their house selling Pokemon cards. So if that's not interesting enough
Pokemon.
for you.
Like that was my gift of choice.
We had those binders with like the little laminated.
I want a pack of Pokemon cards, please. Charmander. Been working on
Pikachu?
collecting him.
Charmander. I can't.
I stand.
Sorry, you were going to say.
I was going to say that I've heard some really crazy like theories about what happened last night. And I read one on my way here that I'm pretty sure is unfounded. But
about
I'm just
Kelly?
Yeah.
And that Madison's dating someone from her seminary.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I heard that Kelly was at the show last night because in the month after he broke up with Hannah Ann, Peter hooked up with Kelly. And that's why she wasn't at Woman Tell All either. But they're just going to bring her there and not drop that bomb. I don't think that they would...
No, I think they brought her there because they only referenced her at the top of the episode and they wanted to cause mass confusion because there were so many theories about what was going to happen. Like, was Kelly a factor? Kelly's follows all of Peter's family on Instagram and all of Peter's family follows her back. So there was a lot of thought about, like, Kelly, and I think they just placed her there to, like, fuck with us.
Perhaps. I'm sure that they did, but why wasn't she at Women Tell All if she's in the fold?
Unclear.
Okay, let's get right into it because we can't not talk about it any longer. Without further ado, here are the Fast 5 stories that you need to know before you wake up and take a bite out of your morning toast.
And that's true, but I must rave about a new sponsor whose product has actually like really changed my life, the Hush blanket.
Loving.
Okay, I've never had a weighted blanket before, and people love to like talk about how it really helps them. And this box showed up at my door and it was so heavy. And I'm like, what the hell is in this box? It was my Hush blanket. I keep it on the edge of my bed now because I got a blue velvet one and I happen to have blue velvet pillows on my bed. So it's just like a really snatched look for like the ambiance, the feng shui. My new bed is really becoming like a warm place I would like to spend more time in. The quality of the blanket is really substantial. It's better looking and better quality than any other brand on the market. Hush products make their products with only the best material. And some of the benefits of having a weighted blanket are you can actually get a deeper sleep. You can stay asleep longer. It feels like a hug, and it's proven to help people who experience anxiety and stress. I totally am a believer in the whole science behind it. And they also have a give back program at Hush Blankets. So they donate 1 in 10 adult blankets and we donate 1 in 10 adult blankets and 1 in 5 kids blankets to charities and shelters in need. It's been a huge part of their brand since day one, and they understand that not everyone can afford a Hush, but they absolutely deserve the experience of a better sleep. They have an 100-night guarantee, so you have 100 nights to test out your blanket. If you don't love it, send it back for a full refund, no questions asked. If you feel like it's too heavy or too light, you can exchange sizes, so it's not one size. There's different weights, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, I have the Hush Throw, and it's the perfect size for my bed. It's not too big, not too small. All you need is a light blanket.
The returns and exchanges process are super, super easy. And we have a discount code. If you use TOAST at Hush Blankets, you can get $50 off all weighted blankets. So Hush Blankets is the company. The code is TOAST for $50 off all weighted blankets. And if you needed to know anything, Theo really endorses them. I have had to vacuum my Hush blanket. I've had it for 2 weeks. 4 times, and I literally am getting my dustbuster out. It's covered in dog hair. It's the only thing Theo would sleep on.
I love it. It's so great for anxiety. I have been catching a vibe recently under my Hush blanket, reading a book.
Catching a vibe?
Catching a vibe. It's the place to be, you guys. If you have never experienced a weighted blanket, Hush blanket is the blanket for you.
It's 2020. Catch a vibe, not coronavirus.
Yeah, you definitely want to be catching a vibe right now. Okay, let's get right into it. Season finale. 30 minutes in, we have an engagement. 25 minutes in, we had an engagement between Peter and Hannah Ann. And I was honestly really tempted to turn the TV off and walk away and say, oh, Peter and Hannah Ann, what a beautiful couple. I hope they have a lifetime of happiness, and then never hear about anything ever again.
Yeah, it was really frustrating to watch because when at first she didn't show up, I'm like, oh, is this taking a turn for the bad? And then something really that set me off was when Peter found out that Hannah Ann wasn't going to show up, he goes, does she know about Madison? Or does she know she's the only one left?
Yeah.
Like he had something he was hiding. Like, does she know that she might be winning by default? And no one told her that. And she brought it up at Women Tell All, but to me, like, of all the mistakes he made, making it seem like she was the one for him, not the only one left, is like the most important. He lied by omission. Like, that one little detail makes the world of difference. Like, she thought and I'm sure watching it back and now everyone watching, like, it's so embarrassing. Like, she's over there thinking like, I'm the one, it's been me all along, he sent Maddie home. No, Maddie went home on her own and you were the only bitch left.
I would agree with that, and I do think he should have told her, but it was giving me a lot of like Rachel, Peter, Brian vibes, where Peter left because he couldn't get down on one knee, and Rachel got engaged to Brian, and if you just watch the show on its face, you would think she just took the consolation prize, but now we know firmly that Brian was always her first choice, and that storyline just had to play out.
Right, but now we know also that Hannah Ann wasn't his first choice.
So you could have like made that argument when he proposed to Hannah Ann, that he was always going to propose to Hannah Ann,
if they were still together now, you can make that argument.
Yes, So when he was proposing, I was like, oh, this is the woman for him, and now he has the space to do that.
But it was only 8:20, so I knew that this engagement wasn't going to last.
Right. So then it turns out a month later, they're seeing each other for the first time.
Can I just say that the timeline of everything was very confusing, and they kept contradicting themselves. Like, he said he didn't see Madison after that scene at the pool, but then he was like, when I saw you, we spoke. Like, he kept contradicting about whether or not they had seen each other, whether or not they had spoken to each other. At what point did Chris Harrison go to Alabama? I could have used a more in-depth timeline. They were being intentionally vague.
Agreed. And I would like to know, I'm sure it was the first time they saw each other, but I'm sure there were DMs flying. I'm sure at some point he got her phone number. I'm sure there was communication happening. And I just would have liked to know, at what point did they speak for the first time? I know she saw him by the pool for the first time, but like, did he never DM her when he was still having feelings for her, a la Ari and Lauren?
And he was genuinely surprised when she came out of the pool. So I don't think that he had seen her.
Right. I don't think he had seen her either. But the first time he sees Hannah Ann, a month after their engagement, obviously things have been rocky this past month.
In a mansion. I would like some more details on whose mansion that was.
So when they are a happy couple, they have happy couple weekends, and they get to rent out a mansion for the weekend in privacy.
Does Bachelor pay for that?
Yes.
Oh,
and they have these like weekends. They're few and far between, probably like a month, but they get a really nice house.
Oh man, that's so nice of ABC to pay for them.
Yeah, because they have to put them somewhere secluded.
Right.
And if they're going to be filming, it has to be nice looking.
Interessant.
Yeah. So they had this swanky pad where
Very
the bathroom
swanky.
was far too far.
Yeah, when she was crying in the bathroom, I'm like, is that a jet-soaked tub?
When she was walking to the bathroom, I was like, is that a photo booth?
Oh, yeah, there was like an arcade.
Yeah, it was a sweet house. We should find it on Airbnb.
The toasters already found it.
Stop.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was very strange, and the reason why they wind up breaking up is because Peter can't give her his whole heart.
And she showed up there knowing that shit was wrong. They'd been engaged in a month, but they hadn't really been speaking, or they hadn't seen each other. It was just so weird.
It was weird, and it was like, was it like he wasn't being a good fiance, or was he hung up on Madison, or was he hung up on Hannah Brown? There wasn't a good enough explanation as to how and when everything deteriorated in their engagement.
Yeah, and all along, I never thought that Hannah Ann was the right fit for Peter, but I always really liked her, and I never thought she was a bad person. Like, even with that Kelsey stuff, I thought Kelsey was really hard on her. She never did anything wrong, so she didn't deserve to be, like, embarrassed in the way that she was. And I never really thought about it until she said, you took away my first engagement from me, which should have been my only engagement, and that was, like, really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And I felt like a lot of her lines, both at the breakup and after the final rose, were like a little rehearsed. Like, she had thought of what she wanted, not rehearsed, but she thought of what she wanted to say. Yeah. And it didn't bother me. Like, I thought she was really well spoken, and she got out what she needed to get out. She looked like the absolute fucking Snatcher with her extensions on after the final rose.
She really did. If I were Snitch, like, I would be quaking, because
that dress,
like, if she ever became the Bachelorette, it would be called the Snatchelorette.
Well, then that's the whole tragedy here, is that if we learn anything from other seasons, girls like Hannah Ann who get dumped after winning, like Becca, more often than not go on to become the Bachelorette. But now we know Claire Crawley's the Bachelorette, which we'll get to in a minute. And she doesn't have that same fairy tale. And she'll have a full life. She can maybe go on Paradise. She'll be fine.
Yeah.
But a lot of you can get over the initial embarrassment knowing that they're filming your breakup, you'll probably be the Bachelorette.
Yeah, and I think during the breakup, she was saying all the right Bachelorette things.
Right, like the key words.
But then last night, she already knew she wasn't getting it, so she was really just being herself.
Yeah.
And I thought that she handled everything really well, except that I do not think that she went on that show to get engaged. And
she's so young.
No one was more surprised than her when he proposed to her.
And you shouldn't be that surprised.
No, and like, she couldn't say no at that point, but I do think she probably felt a little stuck.
Let's take a pause for the sirens. So that whole Hannah Ann saga was made sadder by the fact that she's not going to be the Bachelorette. I do agree that I don't think she necessarily came on to get engaged. And the only time I can remember someone being that surprised when they got engaged was Catherine and Sean Lowe. Like, she really didn't think it was going to be her. But that wasn't coming from a place of doubt. It was coming from just like an insecurity. Like, oh my God, it's me.
Humility.
Yeah. And so, like, you shouldn't be that shocked. Towards the end, with the last three girls, like, you really know who's the winner. Like, everyone said when they would, like, be in the airport, like, everyone knew Ben Higgins was going to pick Lauren B. Like, like, you just know. So it should have, set something off in her head. And it was just so fake, like him calling her dad. Like, don't bring her dad into this. He's a nice guy.
It was so sad. I can't believe they went through with all of it.
The farce.
Yeah, despite the fact that he was clearly so conflicted. And obviously it all crumbled after the fact.
And after the final rose, where Peter was like, this process doesn't allow you to grieve the relationship before being engaged to someone else. It's because when you do this process correctly, you don't really need to grieve that second relationship because it wasn't the relationship for you.
And when you know exactly what you're looking for in a woman, you know it when you see it, and you don't wind up with such real strong feelings for both two women.
Yeah, so it was frustrating.
I did understand when he said that like Hannah Ann, and I totally agree with him, like, she is like everything of the sort. Like, you don't, like, he was in a temporary bit of pain, but he wasn't going to pass up on a chance of forever with Hannah Ann because he assumed that he would get over his feelings for Madison. And so even though he probably, we can say he should have not gotten engaged to her considering he was so into Madison, how do you let that go? It reminds me of Brad Womack and Emily Maynard. And even though they didn't have the strongest connection I felt all season, how do you not get engaged to Emily Maynard when she is literally an angel on earth?
Yeah, and Hannah Ann has been everything for Peter this season. She's been very easy.
Not to sound like Barb.
No, but and by the way, and I totally understood why Barb liked her initially. But to be such a bitch to the other girl is so unnecessary, and we'll get to that. But I understood the love for Hannah Ann. She's a mother-in-law's dream. She loves her son so much. She's made it so easy. She's ready. I totally get why someone would love her so much. But to have the alternative reaction to Madison is so uncalled for. And
yeah.
And I'm really struggling because I can't, I'm just believing what I see on TV. And as far as we know from TV, people are really, really upset at Barb because she came for Maddie so hard. She claims that the worst thing Maddie did was make her wait 3 hours and not apologize. The 3 hours thing doesn't really strike me as odd. Production, is so long, so slow. They had that conversation outside, whereas Hannah just pulled up in a car and walked in. It takes 10 minutes to film that. But to have that really boring, forehead-touching conversation, production-wise, I can imagine it taking 3 hours.
Yeah.
So I don't think she necessarily owed Barb an apology. She was filming.
No, but that's on Maddie because I said this on the Snatcher. I think when Maddie went to have that conversation with Peter, she was trying to break up with him.
She was trying to go home.
And it didn't turn out that way. And then she didn't want to meet his parents. And I think it took 3 hours of conversing and coercing her to come and meet his parents, and she didn't want to be there, and the family could feel that. And so when you are 3 hours late to meet someone's parents because you were having a conversation that was not scheduled, you should apologize for making people wait when they have flown halfway across the world. So when Barb explained that, I understood why she acted the way she acted on Monday night's episode, and I was ready to move on from it.
Yes, that's true. That's very true. I thought Monday night she was annoying me, but she wasn't mean, and she wasn't what she was on Tuesday. And now that I know why she acted the way she acted on Monday, I agree with you. Her actions were justified on Monday.
And Maddie apparently said that she wasn't madly in love with Peter and that she wouldn't be able to accept an engagement in 4 days.
And I just feel like that's something they should have or would have aired.
Yeah, no, because they want us to think that this is a fair fight.
Yeah.
So I understood why Barb, and maybe Peter has a history of of going after what he can't have. And so Barb is you have this angel in front of you, Hannah Ann, please make the right decision, or what she thought was the right decision. So I'm going to let her behavior on Monday night go.
Slide.
But then she went in WWE Raw style against Maddie.
Awful.
After the final rose. And I can't ever imagine a world in which you air your dirty laundry like that on national television, regardless of how you feel.
I mean, Maddie and Peter have absolutely no future. When it's such a toxic relationship with the in-laws, especially they're both so close to their family. Chad Pruitt, her dad, has been liking tweets on Twitter about Barb being so mean to Maddie. This is so toxic. And
so toxic.
Of course, a couple, it's like Kenny's parents from Love is Blind. A couple is about the two people, but it's enriched by their families. And for two people who are so close to their families to be going at it, there is absolutely no way this relationship has legs. It is going absolutely nowhere.
Absolutely nowhere. I wouldn't be surprised if they're already broken up.
I mean, last night, after literally Barb roasting, embarrassing Madison on national television, and Peter just to sit there like a pussy.
What is he supposed to do? Seriously.
I mean,
he can't talk back to his mother on TV. I would have absolutely no respect for him.
And
Maddie is barely his girlfriend at that point. There's absolutely nothing he could have said or done. I felt terribly for him.
I felt bad for him too, but I think he could have stepped in. I mean, he yelled at his mom on TV telling her to stop crying.
But that wasn't a live show. That was just a family conversation that was being filmed. This was with an audience Jerry Springer style.
It was Jerry Springer.
What would you have even wanted him to say? There's absolutely no right thing he could say.
Stop.
But what if it doesn't work out with him and Madison and then he embarrassed his mom? That's
I don't think that's him embarrassing his mom. His mom's embarrassing him.
I know, but you're still the child and that's your parent.
I know, but sometimes some people really need to be reeled in.
I know, but not on national TV. I think he just had to sit there, and I think it was the most uncomfortable moment of his life.
I think when Barb said that awful, just came for her, and then they went to commercial break, and they were like, we're going to have Maddie respond. And Maddie literally had the most eloquent, graceful, she was like, I mean, these are Peter's parents, and I'm literally not going to respond. That was how any mother-in-law couldn't love her. She could have taken, and by the way, the audience was on Madison's side. So Madison could have taken that opportunity to roast Barb back and shoot facts at her and have the whole audience be like, Maddie. She could have done that.
Yeah.
Because no one was on Barb's side, but she was very quiet. She said, out of respect, I'm just not going to say anything because this relationship could work out. And then you're the girl who spoke back to your mother-in-law on television. Mm-hmm. I thought it was so classy, so respectful. How any mother-in-law couldn't love this faith-based lovely gem. I feel like I must be missing something.
That's what I have to conclude with is that there's something that we're not understanding, because just for Barb to be so pressed about their different lifestyles
to succeed.
When she said that after Maddie like respectfully declined to get into the weeds with her, and she started going in again, like I don't understand that. I don't.
And then I can't verify whether or not this is true. When they cut to the dad and Chris Harrison was like, what do you think about this? And the mom said something really like under her breath and mouthed it. A lot of people are saying that she was speaking, it's like a common Venezuelan phrase saying like, say something bad, don't leave me hanging. That's what people are saying. But again, she was mouthing stuff all night.
Like that would make sense as what she said, have my back in some way, shape, or form.
I was trying to read her lips the whole night. Like that little Barb cam in the bottom left corner was fucking hysterical. And she knew she was on camera and she was really playing up her face. Like she's going for a daytime Emmy. She was just working so hard. The eye roll, the grin, every time Hannah Ann, clap, clap, clap. Like she took an acting class.
She really did. And she was just taking this all way too seriously, considering like Peter and Madison are not in a relationship right now. They barely answered that question. Like you're just go like it's 2 hours and then you can yell at your son after. I just didn't understand why she couldn't like hold her tongue back, considering she knew that everybody disliked her after Monday night's episode. Maybe you would take that, be like, okay, even if she didn't agree with everyone, but be like, oh, okay, maybe I was really hard on Madison. Everyone loves Madison. I'm just gonna skate through this one.
No, she dug her grave
and hug my son.
No, she dug her heels in.
It was shocking. I've never seen anything like that on television before. Like I had to clutch my pearls. I was in shock.
And you know what? It really makes you think. Peter's 28. He's a pilot. He's so good looking. Like, how are you single? Like, guys like that don't last long. Oh, I know why. Because his mom drives every good girl away.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah, and even when she likes someone, she's driving them away, calling Hannah Ann her daughter after I'm sorry, but like legally and just like biologically speaking, that girl is not your daughter. Like when they get married, she'll be your daughter-in-law, but you did not give birth to her. She is not your daughter.
And just the dramatics, like Peter comes home from The Bachelor, she's on the couch. Like, you have to calm down.
And when he said, and obviously he was being dramatic, he was like, I got engaged. And they should be happy regardless of who the answer is, because it means your son is in love and he is happy.
And of the two girls, neither of them are serial killers. They're both lovely, beautiful, wholesome girls. Like, you really can't lose.
Right. So, I don't know. Honestly, in thinking about this, there's obviously no way that Madison and Peter can withstand this, because I don't think their love was even strong enough to withstand the fact that he drinks and she doesn't. Let alone the fact that their families are the Capulets and the Montagues.
Truly.
I think that eventually Peter and Hannah B will get back together.
Yeah, well, Hannah Ann dropped a very small but large bomb.
She knew exactly what she was doing. That's why I just love like a calculating queen.
Me too.
You know, because like there's no mistakes made.
And not calculating in a negative way.
No,
strategic.
Someone who thinks.
She said, you know, there were so many people in our relationship, not even just you and I, but Maddie, and then you needed a closure with Hannah Brown. So they just really skated right over that. But what I gathered from that is during the 1 month engagement, he told Hannah Ann that he was going to have a conversation with Hannah Brown, just getting some closure. You know, he's moving on in his life. He's getting engaged. Like, he just wants to have some sort of closure.
Yeah.
She just really just dropped that in real nicely.
Suspect. But then Hannah Brown is in Florida, like spending some time with Tyler C.
Yeah, and she posted something on Instagram, like a picture of her jumping. It was like, freedom.
I can't.
There's too many messages, like too much subliminal, like, things going on.
I hope to see Hannah Brown and Peter get back together and stay together. I want Madison and Hannah Ann in paradise, and I hope that Claire Crawley sends some good men down to Mexico.
Well, thank you for bringing that up, because you know they released Claire Crawley's dudes.
I did, because I saw the Snatcher posted it.
And I have a very interesting analysis that I took from the Facebook group that I would like to give credit to Allie Cunningham for. Ready? There's 32 guys.
Okay.
21 of them have a 10-plus age gap with Claire, so they're over 10 years younger than her. 21 of 32 guys. 31 of the 32 guys are younger than her.
Wow.
There's one guy, he's 42. He's the only one who's older than her.
Maybe she prefers a young guy.
She has said that she loves a younger guy, but to be honest, there's a 23-year-old cast.
That guy is cast for Hannah Ann in Paradise.
And no, he's nothing of the sort, according to his photo.
Oh, he's not. But also, the biggest news that I saw from the Snatcher is that Tyler C's best friend, Matt, is going on Claire's season.
Yeah, so if you don't know him, he's just been... Oh, when Tyler was dating Gigi, he was, like, sleeping on Matt's couch. He was, like, his NYC friend. Now they live together. He's super, super nice. And they do the ABC food tours together. And now he's going on The Bachelor, which is so crazy, but not that crazy, actually.
Yeah, and it'll be nice for Tyler C to, like, have a friend who's in it with him.
Yeah.
But that actually is pretty crazy.
The guys just, I mean, all the photos, they always look like, for girls and guys, like that they picked them up off Ugly Island, but they always end up being beautiful. Like you see even the most beautiful contestants, you see their pictures and you're like, who are these people?
Yeah.
It's like they intentionally make them all the guys look creepy and all the girls look like hookers.
They should do like a short video instead because the pictures just aren't capturing the essence.
Or they should really hire like Bryant, that Instagram photographer who makes everyone look sickening. Like, why do they want their photos to be terrible?
I don't know. It's so weird.
When Alexis Waters came on the show.
I was just thinking about that.
And spoke about her experience with the photo shoot. They said her shoes wouldn't be in it and she wore these ugly like clog boots and then they got her fucking shoes in it. It's horrible. That picture follows you everywhere. Like even when I make guest cards for the show for people from The Bachelor and I search them, the first picture that always comes up is that photo, even if they were on 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's so true.
It's horrible. It follows them.
This season was a clusterfuck, and I think they released the photos this morning because they just want to swiftly move on from it.
That's why they also had Claire on at the end. Like, they just kicked Maddie and Peter right off the stage.
Yeah, they are done with this season because now this is 3 seasons in a row where we didn't end with a happy engaged couple.
And that's, I think, a lot of the reason why Claire Crawley, I didn't, after, when they announced that it was going to be her, I thought they were really trying to skew older, but after seeing the guys, they're all in their late 20s. That's probably not the case. I think they just really want someone just so they can add another check to couples in getting engaged.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because they're really leaning into the couples who are, like, Rachel Lindsay is becoming literally the face of Bachelor Nation. I feel like in 5 or 10 years, like, she could be the next Chris Harrison.
Yeah. Did you see that Chris Harrison was FaceTiming with the Kardashians?
Excuse me?
Kim posted on her story, they had a whole Bachelor watch party. They had a cake with Peter's face on it, a cake with Hannah Ann's face on it, a cake with Madison's face on it.
I don't believe
Could you imagine that being on Kim's story with a cake with your face on it?
No, I literally can't.
And they were having a Bachelor viewing party, and then after the episode, Kim posted a picture of them FaceTiming Chris Harrison, said getting all the tea.
Dead.
The Kardashians have been loving The Bachelor.
I love that for them.
And I had a call. I was thinking, like, just, thinking things through as I do. I think that Hannah Ann will become a model for Kylie Cosmetics.
Or, like, Good American.
Yeah, but I think that they
leaning into the influencer life. I love that.
Because they're loving The Bachelor.
Shook.
So shook. Okay, well, that's that on that. If you want...
That's that on that.
That's fucking that on that. If you want more Bachelor coverage, listen to today's episode of The Snatcher. I joined Snitch and Nicole. It was a really fun episode. It's like an hour long, so go and enjoy. They're so cute.
I mean, I could talk about this stuff forever, so The Snatcher is... Pertinent. And Snatcher Songs, which is a segment that they do. And then they make a playlist on Spotify with all of their recommendations. They're so cute.
It's so good, the playlist.
Oh, I believe it. I only listen to Margot's Spotify.
Yeah, and it's also like the songs that she's not always storing. It's just like songs she's genuinely enjoying.
Love that for her.
So head over to The Snatcher. The audio is premium quality this week, you guys.
Recorded in TMT headquarters.
It was. I was the producer. Producer. Okay, are you ready for our next story?
Sure.
Because in a little Corona Times news, talk shows are banning studio audiences amid coronavirus outbreak.
Smart.
Talk shows across the city, including ABC's The View and Live with Kelly and Ryan and The Morning Toast, will tape without studio audiences because of the coronavirus outbreak, Page 6 is told. Yeah, we had to, send our studio audience home.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I can't even believe that The Bachelor did 2 nights of Corona studio audience.
Totally. I think that it's interesting to see how certain businesses are taking precautions, and I think something that's really been freaking me out a lot is like ordering takeout and restaurants. And I ate at Serafina last night, and I have to give them a major like high five. Every person in the kitchen, in the restaurant who worked for the restaurant was wearing gloves. I saw the hostess every 5 minutes. She was wiping down the railing when you walk into the restaurant. Like, they were taking major precautions, and it made me feel really, like, a lot better.
Wow, that's
great. Because, you're literally ingesting it.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, it's just so interesting to see. I haven't gotten a manicure. I feel like that might be...
I got a manicure the other day, and the place was... There was no one in there, but I also went in the middle of the day because I like to go when there's no one there. And I asked them if it had been affecting business, and they said not really.
It's just interesting. Like, I hope they're also taking extra precautions.
Yeah, well, I washed my hands right when I got to the manicure place. I got my manicure. I went home. I washed my hands again.
So I was working yesterday. Really, it was like 3-4 o'clock, just really, typing away. And I was stuck in my own universe, and the doorbell rang, which is very rare for me. I don't really have guests. And, Theo popped right up. We ran to the door. I heard a female's voice. I opened the door. It's fucking Jackie. She's like, hi, I need to wash my hands.
I was in the neighborhood and I touched a door and I needed to wash my hands.
Can you believe can you imagine, like, I can't even relate to being that level of crazy.
I literally walked into your building like this, like with my hands stuck out of my coat, and your doorman offered me Purell, and I was like, no, I'm going to see if Claudia's home. I'm going to wash my hands because I do prefer a hand washing. I think I was in your house for 5 minutes. I think I washed my hands
Twice.
No, because I washed my hands when I got in there. Then I peed and I washed my hands. Then I was playing with Theo and I washed my hands. And then I washed my hands one more time on the way out.
Psychotic.
But you can't be too safe in these times.
You really can't.
So I hope everyone's staying safe. I'm glad that they've made this decision to send home the studio audiences. I think
awkward to film a show though in front of nobody.
There's no need to be like hysterical and panic right now, but I do think there are small things that we could do that would just,
stop the spread.
And if you don't need to be in a place where there's a lot of people, like don't be there.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. So next story from one of my favorite Twitter accounts and also a news source that I will be citing on the show.
It's my absolute favorite Twitter account.
Pop Crave News.
Because
they
the best.
report the news that we care about.
Totally. And they always have screenshots. Like whenever I post something on the Morning Toast Instagram, I'm more likely than not found it on Pop Crave.
Totally. And I saw this story on their Twitter, and then they were the only place that I saw this story, and I thought it was such a great story.
Okay.
I was surprised it wasn't in my like daily feed of news.
Right.
Meet the first members of Rihanna's Fenty Beauty TikTok house.
Okay, I heard about this. I was so confused. She's starting like a hype house for
Fenty
beauty TikTokers. Explain.
Okay, Rihanna is leveraging the power of TikTok with the opening of a brand new Fenty Beauty TikTok house. The home will serve as headquarters for a rotating group of housemates, aka TikTok influencers who will produce Fenty Beauty inspired videos for the popular social media app. This is fucking genius. It's basically a branded hype house, and which no one has done yet.
No one.
And it's the next gen.
I mean, Fenty Beauty has and always will be like on the frontier of beauty because they're always, pushing boundaries and being so inclusive. And to me, like, this is just the coolest, smartest thing you could do.
In the article, Pop Crave has all of the TikTok influencers who will be in the first round of the house.
Do we know any of them?
I don't know any of them. That doesn't mean anything
What are their
because
names?
One is named Michaela. There's Dawn. They have varying amounts of followers. Emmy Combs, Savannah, Chal XN, and Michaela did. Oh, and a lot of these influencers had been posting videos with Fenty, and this is just the next step. I think that this is such a brilliant idea.
Me too.
And I'm so excited to see the content that they make.
This is why, like, I know we all need an album from Rihanna, but she's like so busy conquering the world. It's hard to do both.
It really is. It's hard to do both. She appeared at the house earlier this week to kick off its launch and explain the inspiration behind the idea. Quote, I just wanted to create a platform for the next wave of content creators. I think our generation is the sickest, the illest, the most creative. I can't do it alone. So to join in with the people who are influencing the world, my community, my generation, this is like a hug.
This is so sick. I saw on Brett Man Rock's story that she had a Fenty party, I guess, where she announced this whole TikTok thing, and she invited a bunch of TikTokers, and they were all like TikToking with Rihanna. It was so cool. Like, I just love her.
I love her. I love that it's also influencers and TikTokers who I had never heard of. So they're obviously not like huge in the beauty space. It's not like the regular YouTube beauty influencers.
Right, because I think the point of the house is to get cool content made for the Fenty beauty channels. And you don't have to have the most amount of followers to make like the coolest content. Like people like in their bedrooms being so creative with makeup, like make the sickest stuff and they get one like, you know?
I mean, to me, this is the first I've heard of a brand doing a TikTok house. And I don't think this will be the last.
No, now everyone's going to do it and it won't be cool or, different. But as of right now, Rihanna's the only one doing it. She's the first one doing it. And it's like the coolest idea I've ever heard. But once like brands like
Revolve will be next.
Totally.
Well, they should be next or else like they'll be
left behind.
Yeah, they'll be left behind.
Yeah. And now that without Coachella this year, they officially postponed it. I got an email yesterday.
Yes, it is now in October, both Coachella and Stagecoach.
I don't know how I ended up on some like Golden Voice press email list because anytime there's like an announcement, I always get the emails. And last night at dinner, official email, both Stagecoach and Coachella have been rescheduled to 3 weekends in October. Crazy.
Yeah, but I'm glad for it. I'm glad we can all know if you're making plans, you can adjust your plans and prepare.
I already put it in my planner, which is really annoying.
Oh, I don't know if I did. Well, I'll let you borrow my whiteout.
Thank you.
Okay, next story. Billie Eilish takes off her shirt to protest body shaming. Did you see this?
I did. Miami concert, right?
Yes. She was at a concert and she broadcast a big screen video in which she bared her bra, apparently making a bold statement about the pressures young women face in the music industry and the online body shaming that comes with it. Fans posted the footage to Twitter where Eilish is intoning, quote, if I wear what is comfortable, I am not a woman. If I shed the layers, I'm a slut. Though you've never seen my body, you still judge it and judge me for it. Why? We make assumptions about people based on their size. We decide who they are. We decide what they're worth. If I wear more, if I wear less, who decides what that makes me, what that means? Is my value based only on your perception, or is your opinion of me not my responsibility?
Wow.
Preach.
Crazy though that like all this time she's never been spotted like in anything other than like baggy clothes. Like really nobody does know what her body looks like, and she like put so much work and effort into that, and then she's just putting a picture of herself in a bra like at her concert.
No, but that is truly, these are facts.
By the way, so well said. Is your opinion of me not my responsibility?
We make assumptions about people based on their size. We
So
really
true.
do.
Of course.
This is like so deep.
I live for her.
I live for her.
And you know, when you think of the body positive icons of our generation, like the Jamila Jamils, the people who are really making an impact, you don't think Billie Eilish, but I think I'm going to start thinking.
I'm already thinking there's more. She said, you have opinions, about my music, about my clothes, about my body. Some people hate what I wear. Some people praise it. Some people use it to shame others. Some people use it to shame me. But I feel you watching always, and nothing I do goes unseen.
Wow, so well said. You use what I wear to shame me and shame others.
It's true, because it's like Billie Eilish covers her body.
Why are you wearing a bra on the red carpet?
You're just taking her clothes off just to be a sex symbol.
So true.
Like, let people live.
Wow, this is so well said. Living for Billie Eilish, icon.
Yeah. Icon. Okay, ready for our fifth and final story?
Billie Icon. Yeah, I'm ready. Sorry.
Jenna Dewan has given birth to a sweet bebe named Callum.
That's nice. I'm really happy for her. I just like don't live to report on Jenna Dewan.
I know. And I just feel like I'm always reporting on her giving birth to a sweet baby named Callum with Steve Kazee. And then we're like, who's Steve Kazee? Twilight. What else does he do?
Yeah.
Does he sing? Does he make money?
I get that she's technically a celebrity, but like I don't really get her whole vibe.
Yeah.
And I get that like she was in Step Up, which was iconic briefly, and then she was married and like people were obsessed with the marriage, but she's not in the marriage anymore. Therefore, I'm not gonna lie, I don't care.
No, I feel as though she is someone who is famous because like she has a really good publicist.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
she's like a public persona, and I get that her talent is dancing, but she hasn't really danced publicly for a while. She hosts So You Think You Can Dance, but she hasn't danced herself.
No, she has not danced.
I feel like in another world she would have been a pro. If she didn't marry Channing Tatum and become like an A-list celebrity, I think she would have become a pro on Dancing with the Stars,
That's
like a Julianne Hough.
That's a very good call.
But now she's on the competing show, So You Think You Can Dance. Which is, by the way, such a mean name
title
for a show. Like, So You Think You Can Dance? I actually do think I can dance.
Yeah, that's hurtful.
Very hurtful when it's a show about like, you know, lifting up dancers.
Exactly.
Let's take a brief pause for the siren. Okay, sorry about that. We're back, and we just found out some breaking news that we feel the need to share with everyone. It's shocking.
AP has reported that Harvey Weinstein has been sentenced to 23 years for sexual assaults.
Living for it. Living. Today was his sentencing. I guess it just happened here in New York. He was also like in the hospital yesterday. Hate to see it. 23 years. Did they say which prison? Is it like a gushy, like...
It's not. It's definitely not going to be gushy when it's rape and sexual assault.
Living.
Wow.
Living.
Wow. Justice has been served, you guys.
In the words of Amanda Bynes, bring in the dancing lobsters.
Bring them in. Bring in the dancing Theos. I can't believe it.
I mean, this is huge. Obviously, I think that whether or not Harvey Weinstein had actually gotten like a fair and harsh sentence, it would have made a difference in every industry. Like nobody wants to be a Harvey Weinstein now, and it's definitely made an impact on how women are treated. But to actually like get the justice is never served. Like we learned that with Jeffrey Epstein. This is so fabulous.
This is so fabulous. I'm happy for all of the women who were brave enough to tell their stories. And I hope that this inspires more justice in the future.
This all happened so fast. We were literally just talking about Gigi Hadid becoming a juror.
Yeah. I guess like trials have a quick turnaround.
Yeah, but well, they say that's in the Constitution. Like you have the right to a fair and speedy trial. And in the R. Kelly documentary, we learned like you can actually use that to your advantage. Like if you want to drag it out, like that R. Kelly thing was dragged out for 7 years. But I guess Harvey wanted a speedy trial. Maybe he thought he was going to get away with it.
Maybe.
Put this all behind him. He has for years. Love it. Bye, Harvey. Have a good time in prison. And I just feel like you'll be really popular there.
Bye.
I love the hierarchy within the prison system. Like, I don't know if we spoke about this, but Gabriel Fernandez, when that documentary became really big, it caused quite a stir in the country. And some girl tweeted, and it was never verified whether or not it was true, but I believed her. She was like, my mom actually works in the facility where Pearl Fernandez, who was Gabriel Fernandez's mom, was sentenced to, and she's been getting beat up every day in the quad, because the Gabriel Fernandez story became such a big story. And I just love that prison systems like have their own moral values.
Code, yeah.
And it's like, if you like are a child,
if you're a child molester,
like you're the worst of the worst. Like no one will talk to you. It's like Mean Girls.
Yeah. Sorry, Pearl.
Okay, so that concludes our stories. Is that correct?
That concludes our stories. I did not watch Vanderpump Rules because I was snatchering till 11:30. I know, and I was
didn't see me.
I was
going to
watch it while I got ready this morning, but then I wouldn't be able to look at it the whole time and find you in the background.
No, it's totally fine. You didn't miss much, but it was a good episode. Just seeing all the wedding festivities. I don't know if I thought it was such a good episode because I was there and I was like living for I actually saw a lot of it happening, and was like wondering what everyone was fighting about. And I was with Kristen that Friday night when they were at the Bell's rooftop, and she was talking to Bo for so long, and that's why I was in the background because I got bored of the conversation and I started to get a drink, and I didn't realize it's cool to see now the context of what all these conversations were about, because I didn't know that even Stassi and Kristen were fighting at that point. So it was really interesting to see. It was a good episode. I won't spoil anything for you. Stassi and Bo were on Watch What Happens Live after. Stassi was looking like the Snatcher. Bo said one word the whole time, and they had this like astrologist, like she was this really like spiritual healer as the bartender, and she gave their signs and their calendar like a whole reading, and she wouldn't stop talking. Andy literally tried to cut her off 45 times, but I don't think she could hear him, and she was just going on and on about how their wedding date is actually like a really cursed day. And they were talking about Bo's whole family lives in Italy. They're all quarantined in the red zone. They don't know what they're going to do about their wedding, but it's not till the fall, so they think they'll be okay.
I assumed it was like in April or something.
No, Lala's getting married in April.
Where? In California.
Someone told me. I can't remember where, and also I don't think they told me, like, so I could tell everyone.
Yeah.
But, like, nowhere crazy.
Oh, okay.
In the U.S.
Wow, that's so crazy. I will watch and we can recap tomorrow fully.
And they also, Andy asked what it was like to have Randall post their entire save the date on his Instagram with the wedding password. They were so annoyed, but they ended up changing the password, and, like, it was fine, but it was annoying.
It's annoying, but it's not a huge deal.
Yeah. So that is not the end of our show, because today's Wednesday, and as you know, we do our Dear Toaster segment, which is our advice segment. If you're ever looking for advice from us, we always keep it anonymous. You can email us at deartoasters@gmail.com. Anything from work to friends to wedding to whatever. The weirder the better. Always anonymous, deartoasters@gmail.com. And before we get into that, our Dear Toaster segment is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one for everything you need to start your business. Domains, websites, online stores, marketing tools. Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. You could say more and sell more with their new feature of email campaigns. You can stand out in any inbox with Squarespace's email campaigns. Their all-in-one platform makes it easy to unify your brand voice from your homepage to your emails. You can have consistent content from your website to your email with powerful editing tools to make it your own. With customizable layouts, you can make any message beautiful and stand out. You have mobile editing too. You can send emails to your customers anywhere, anytime, and you can do it all with Squarespace. You can create a beautiful website if you want to turn your cool idea into a business, showcase your work, start a blog, sell products and services, promote your physical business, announce your upcoming event. Everyone's using Squarespace, including us, and we think that you need to get on the Squarespace boat. So head to squarespace.com/toast for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch your website, use the offer code TOAST to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Again, that's squarespace.com/toast for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code TOAST to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Thank you, Squarespace. Let's jump into Dear Toasters. Are you ready, sis?
Let's jump into it.
Dear Toasters, one of my coworkers has been posting her lavish trips on Facebook, but when she does, the rest of my coworkers notice that the pics look like they are from Google Images. Did you go through something like this? I remember you and your friends talking about this once.
Oh, really? Or was it Shay Mitchell?
No, I remember that too, but I remember Dana talking about it once.
Oh, continue.
She will check in at a place like Greece or Alaska, tag the hotel, her significant other, and will post photos. But we noticed that the photos she posted of really busy places like the subway, the Trevi Fountain, a hotel, there are no people in them. Like they're stock photos. They're even a little blurry. So after some digging, aka reverse Google image search, very Neve Schulman of you, we did find out that they are from Google or Pinterest. It's so awkward that we know this, and it kind of seems like she's not even there at all. For example, any of us could tag a place in Spain, even though you might not be there, just be in your living room. That's true. On Facebook, you can do that. My questions are, how weird is this? 2, do we just act like we don't know, or do we call her out? One of my coworkers commented on a photo of how there weren't many people, and she defriended her. It's always so awkward when she comes back to work after these so-called trips. I assume she has no clue. People have caught on, but she's kind of a boomer and has boomer friends on Facebook who are always commenting, how pretty, wow, so jealous. I think she likes the clout. Or maybe she is there but can't take good photos and wants to have good social media presence. What are your thoughts? Signed, reverse Google image search queen.
Oh my God. Okay, this is honestly kind of
Sad.
sweet. It's not like she's a millennial who's like pretending she's living a life that she's not. I think she's just probably an older person, and maybe she is going to these places and she's like, look, I'm in Spain. This is what Spain looks like. I think it's very benign, and even if it's not, even if she's like putting on a front that she's living a life that she's not, I don't think she's sitting at home and saying she's in Spain. I think maybe she's in Spain, but where she is isn't that cute. I think this is like really sweet and pure, and I wouldn't call her out because I think she would be embarrassed. And it's not like she's your friend and you have to like, you know, tell her that what she's doing is weird. Like, this is your coworker. You go home at 5 o'clock. You don't think about it again. Like, honestly, I think this is really cute.
No, I mean, literally I had thoughts until I found out she was a boomer. Like, that
Right.
changes everything. It's so sweet. Boomers like barely know how to use Facebook. I think that this is adorable, and I'm not entirely sure whether or not she's in her living room or in Spain. I'm inclined to believe that she actually is in Spain, but just as like Googling pictures of Spain. Look, Spain. And I think it's totally harmless. Definitely don't call her out because that'd be really fucking bitchy of you. Even if she was like a millennial thirst monster, it's your coworker. Like, mind your own goddamn business.
Yeah, if she was a millennial thirst monster and your friend, you could call her out. But like as a coworker, you shouldn't call your coworkers out on personal stuff because like it's not, this is business here. And I do think it's like a very innocent thing that she's doing. Like, first of all, who's even checking in on Facebook when they go somewhere? Like, it's not like she's Instagramming photos that she didn't take pretending she's in those places. You know,
Yeah.
that's what's weird. But when it's just Facebook, like, who gives a shit what people are doing on Facebook?
Right, this is so different from the Shay Mitchell saga.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't recall, Shay Mitchell got called out a few years ago because Shay Mitchell, after Pretty Little Liars, really became like this influencer travel. She has a travel suitcase company, and she was traveling to all these fabulous places, and somebody did a deep dive and realized that a lot of the places she was posting pictures from were photos from like popular photographers, from other Instagrams. One of them even had like the mouse in it, like from your computer, like, and she got called out and addressed it. And like, that was totally different. That was not like sweet and innocent like this.
Right, because also like she's making her living on being like this wanderlust inspo for traveling, but it's like, oh, you're not, those aren't even your photos.
And you're not giving credit to the photographer.
Yeah, that's not what this is. I think that this is so cute. She seems like a sweet lady.
Agreed. I totally agree. But thank you for writing in. Next up, Dear Toasters. I have a friend, let's call her Lauren, who's been dating her boyfriend for almost 7 years. On Friday night, he calls her, let's call him Sebastian.
That's a weird random name
Yeah,
to choose.
Lauren and Sebastian.
No,
She
like-
should have said Viola and Sebastian.
Totally, but it's like when you're doing like a random person, it's like John.
Totally, like Tim.
Yeah.
One Friday night,
Sebastian.
let's call him Sebastian, was stuck at work, so our group of
So
girlfriends
many syllables for you.
went out
Let's call
for
him
drinks.
Seb.
Sebastian was stuck at work, so the girlfriends went out for drinks. She was
Okay.
acting a little off, Lauren. So after a few vodka crans, we asked her what was good. I just am inclined to say vodka soda. It said vodka cran.
She can't spell out cranberry, but she's going to keep spelling out Sebastian?
So true. Okay, after a few vodka crans, we asked her what was up. She finally fessed up that she found a bra and a thong pushed under Sebastian's night table earlier that week, and they were not hers. She kept it to herself for a couple days and snooped through his phone, but didn't find anything. So when she finally asked him if he was cheating, he tensed up. He wouldn't answer or talk to her for days, until Sebastian told her that the bra and thong was his. He assured her he wasn't gay and that these articles of clothing heightened the sexual experience for him. He has a whole entire drawer in that night table full of bras, thongs, bustiers, lingeries, and pasties. I'm dead. Steeny love, thongue, better and moi. I can't breathe. Okay.
Wow.
To be honest, this is either a really elaborate lie. Like, what's worse, like getting caught by your girlfriend cheating or having her think like you have a weird fetish with thongs?
Yeah, I don't know. It's either a great lie, but then he has a whole drawer full of stuff. So I think
It's true.
it's true. And I don't want to yuck anyone's yums.
No, of course not.
And so this is obviously like a personal journey that she needs to go down. And
But is he keeping them like he likes to wear them during sexual, or he likes his partners to wear them? But I feel like she would know.
yeah,
They've been together for 7 years.
she would know if he wants her to wear them or if he's wearing them. He says it enhances the sexual experience, but like he's having
They've been having
with
sex
her.
for 7 years, so she would have known if he wanted her to wear it or if he was wearing a thong. She would know.
Yeah.
I need more details, I'm sorry, on what he's actually doing with them. Is he pleasuring himself alone with them, like a sex toy vibe?
Oh, perhaps. And what is the question here? Like, what should you do, or should you even believe him? I think you could find out if he's not being truthful. I think
I believe it.
Let's say that we believe it.
To me, this is more humiliating, like having your weird, fantasies exposed.
And especially if it's something that he's been hiding from her, like he obviously didn't want her to know.
To me, I think he would rather fess up to cheating if that was the case.
Yeah. So I would say that it's true, and maybe you should just have some more conversations with him about it to try and understand, this.
Yeah, like maybe it could work for you too. Like if you knew more about the fantasy.
Yeah. I would inquire further and then make a decision for yourself based on your entire relationship, not just this.
No, of course not. I just wasn't expecting.
You don't throw away 7 years because someone does something that you didn't expect,
yeah, but
in their own private time.
Of course,
that's not illegal.
But it is strange that you can know someone for 7 years and they could keep a secret so well. Like that's what freaks me out. It's never the crime; it's always the cover up. Like the fact that you were able to keep something hidden from your partner of 7 years, means you're good at lying, and that would concern me more than anything.
That's true. Yeah, so I would explore more, but maybe it was something that was never meant for anyone else to know.
Yeah, that's possible. Okay, final one. Hello, counselors. I'm a broke bitch. I started selling my foot pictures online. I created a premium Snapchat to get that cash. I didn't use my phone number, so no one I know could find it. I posted the username on my foot pictures Instagram to alert my followers. I just logged in to check if I have any requests to join the premium Snap, and I kid you not, one of my best friend's boyfriends added it. My friend doesn't know about my account. No one does because it's a secret. Please help. Do I say, hey, it's me? Do I act like I don't know him? Do I tell my friend? I'm in desperate need of help.
Wow, that is so difficult.
Wow, that really was, that's one of the weirdest ones I've ever read.
Yeah. First of all, I just want to say I respect your hustle.
Me too. And there are weirder things you could be doing. I don't think that this is so bad.
No, I don't think so. But now it's I think that she should tell the friend. But it's not like her boyfriend's cheating. He obviously just has a foot fetish. Maybe the friend already knows that, but it's weird. The friend should know that the boyfriend's looking at her feet. How close of friends are you guys?
You know what? I totally disagree. That would really embarrass the friend because maybe the friend knows about the fetish and she doesn't want her other friends to know. So she's outing her friend's boyfriend. I don't know. No one's going to just keep going. It's fine.
I would actually just block him, and he'll think that your account got disabled or something, and he'll go find some other feed, and then you don't have to worry about your friend's boyfriend looking at your feed.
I would just love a follow-up to this on some of the financials. How are you making money?
Yeah, what's the payment system? Venmo, PayPal?
What's a premium Snap? You have to pay for it? I'm so off Snapchat these days. I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting. I would love some more. I would love your business plan.
Yeah, I would love the business plan as well.
And I love that she has... And maybe if you could give us a link to your Instagram, I just would want to see it. Thanks so much. I would love a follow-up. And thank you to everyone. These were really good Dear Toasters. As always.
Definitely just block him. Pretend the account was disabled.
Our email account is deartoasters@gmail.com. You can always email us. We will always keep it anonymous. Anything you like. So those were really good ones. I appreciate that. Thank you guys for writing in, and thank you guys for listening to The Morning Toast, the Millennial Morning Show, where we go live Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube. So if you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up. We're also available as a podcast anywhere podcasts can be found. So that's Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Public Radio, iHeartRadio, CastBox, all the places. So wherever you listen to podcasts, find us, The Morning Toast. Maybe you want to subscribe, leave a 5-star review about how beautiful, stunning, and smart we are. We would really appreciate it. There's tons of new content out on Toast News Network this week. Maternity Live launches tomorrow. New episodes of Mood with Lauren Elizabeth and Margaret Joseph's podcasts are out today. The Snatcher is also out today, and a brand new episode of Date Night with Raven and Adam. So there's tons of content. Also, Patreon of The Morning Toast is being updated all month long. So make sure you head over to patreon.com/The Morning Toast. Have an amazing day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.